Shocking truth. U.S. Senate works only 2.5 days a week. Did you know the U.S. Senate has been in session for only 79 days this year? That's roughly 40% of the time. And in those limited days, we haven't seen action on critical issues like securing our elections, reducing inflation, cutting spending, or preventing another government shutdown. Perhaps it's not surprising then that not much gets done when the Senate only works about 2.5 days a week. It's a stark contrast to the demands of governing, and some argue that at this pace, they should be working 7 days. Senator Rick Scott points to a lack of progress on several key promises, specifically highlighting the Save America Act, which aims to secure elections. He notes that a vast majority of Americans, across all political affiliations, support voter ID and ensuring only U.S. citizens can register to vote, key provisions of this act. Yet, the Senate hasn't passed it or even agreed on how to move forward. Senator Scott argues that to fix this, the entire approach to how business is conducted needs to change. He reminds us that historically, senators would remain in Washington, debating and voting on all agenda items before returning home. But that's no longer the reality. Over recent decades, under leadership from both parties, the Senate's workload has steadily decreased. Americans are feeling the impact of this lack of urgency. Currently, senators typically cast fewer than 10 votes a week, arriving late on Monday and often leaving by Thursday afternoon. Fridays are rarely in session, and weekends are almost never utilized, even when crucial deadlines loom on issues vital to national safety and stability. It's not just election security. Other critical issues demand attention. Funding the government to prevent shutdowns and cutting spending to combat inflation and high interest rates are urgent priorities impacting American families. Senator Scott emphasizes that America's strength comes from its hardworking citizens who strive every day to build their lives and pursue the American dream. He believes the Senate should mirror that work ethic, especially with so many policies needing enactment before the upcoming November elections. His core question remains: if there's so much work to do, why are senators only in session 2.5 days a week? He sees this as a systemic issue, not limited to one party, that has worsened over decades, making Congress less productive. While acknowledging everyone desires time with family, Scott asserts that the job of a senator, and the promise made to constituents, is to work diligently. He specifically recalls promising Floridians to work as hard as possible to help them achieve the American dream, safety, and freedom. With time running short before November, Scott insists that achieving these goals requires senators to stay in Washington, work collaboratively, and find solutions, rather than simply going home. He states that taking no for an answer is not an option. Senator Scott has pledged to bring his key policy initiatives directly to the Senate floor in the coming weeks. His message is clear: let's fix the problem. Let's stop flying home on Thursday after lunch, start voting more, and make good on our promises. That's what the American people deserve.